Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Brock, Rock, and Wine, 6 days away. Presented by Audi of Baton Rouge. Get your tickets, brortho.com. Parish Construction. Look at me perished out today. Parish Construction and Roofing. Love to give you that free, no obligation roofing inspection. Parish. Pinned there in the YouTube chat. Just filled form on the homepage. Unique Physique, semaglutide, tirzepatide, once a week injections for weight loss. You've heard about it. You want to learn more. You interested? Unique Physique here locally in Baton Rouge. And if you don't even want to go in and meet the doctor face to face, telemed appointments available over the phone. You owe it to yourself to learn more to see if it could be an option for you. And of course, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Y'all go see my girl, Crystal Poche. Get your mind right, get your body right. Restored Motions. If you're in pain, she'll take you out of it. All right, y'all. Hope you're having a great weekend. How about LSU? Went 1 for 2 on Saturday. Derek Meadows, the 5-star wide receiver out of Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas, picked LSU. So it was a good start to the day for the Tigers. If you're not familiar, we'll run through a little. We'll run through a little bit of a thumbnail there. So, Derek Meadows is a 5-star according to 24/7 Sports. He is. They rank him the number 32 overall prospect in the composite. He's the number 41 overall prospect, either the sixth receiver by 24/7, the 7th receiver in the composite. 6'6", 205. Excuse me. A guy who had offers from everywhere. And ultimately, it looked like it was going to be Notre Dame for a long time. LSU made a strong push late and ended up getting Meadows. So Meadows out of Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas. Same place that Jeremiah Hughes went. I know I've used that example a lot about Hughes. It's interesting that it worked out this way because I often said, you don't need to get on a plane and fly to Las Vegas to recruit a 3-star cornerback. And I don't mean that to be an insult to Jeremiah Hughes. Just a matter of the amount of talent you have in this state would be a better option. If you want to get on a plane and go to Bishop Gorman to recruit a 5-star receiver, okay. You want to get on a plane and fly to Michigan to recruit the number 1 quarterback in the country, I'm here for it. So love this pickup. Just when you look at wide receivers for LSU in this class, they took some big swings, man. They had DeCorian Moore committed at one point. He's now at Oregon. They went hard after Khalil Lockett, who looks like he's going to Texas. CJ Wiley, they were in there. He picked Florida State. They still got a hat on the table for Jamie French, who's a 5-star. So it looks like that's an LSU-Texas battle. So we'll see how that may all shape out. But right now, Meadows and Teron Francis are your 2 receivers committed in this class, and you need more. The not great news is that Jabari Antoine committed to Miami. So Jabari Antoine, the cornerback out of Westgate in New Iberia, he's going out of state. I'm certain LSU is going to continue recruiting Jabari Antoine until the end of this process. To see if you can't get him flipped. It's worth mentioning, what if they go through this season? Like, let's say Miami loses their opener to Florida. They kind of face plant a little bit this year. Is Mario Cristobal in trouble? Can you ultimately flip him throughout the course of the season? We'll see. So, but you've got just one cornerback committed in this class right now, and it's a big one. It's literally the biggest one. It's DJ Pickett, the number 1 corner in the country. But I maintain, while it looks like you could be okay numbers-wise at corner for the 2025 season, you just never know with attrition. Because truthfully, the only player that's out of eligibility after this year is Zy Alexander. So you could get J.K. Johnson and Jair Brown and all the young guys, Stamps, Toviano. You could get all those guys back in 2025, so your numbers could be fine. But what do you really have there? This season will tell us a lot, but Jabari Antoine picks Miami. Okay, y'all. Let's say some good mornings. You know the drill. If you're on YouTube, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Actually, it's the profile now. You follow the profile. Been telling y'all YouTube or Facebook kind of changed their algorithm. So instead of broadcasting from my professional page, I'm doing it from the personal profile and sharing it to the page. You don't need to understand. You don't need to know. Just if you go to the page or my profile, rather, it's the picture with me and Erica in New York. You can just follow that, and that'll be notified whenever we go live. Okay. Let's say good mornings here. Jonathan Martin, what up? Shane, Paul, Ryan, Alexander, what's going on? Devin Kelly, good morning. Stephen Miller, good morning. Larry Garner, what's going on? Wendell, good to see y'all, man. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday. Make defense great again. Good morning. Austin Kidder, I think I've convinced my wife to come with me to the USC game. We look forward to seeing you down there. Yeah, man. So Austin is our buddy from Baton Rouge who lives out in Vegas. Looking forward to it. Getting our trip planned is a little. I wonder if anybody has anything planned yet for that trip. I think we're going to do the Circa swim Saturday, like afternoon, evening, to go watch all the Saturday, evening games over at Circa. Let me know if y'all got anything planned yet for Vegas. Robert Miller, good morning. Happy Sunday. Cody Kibido, morning, Matt. Notice Jabori's primary recruiter was Chevis Jackson. Random tidbit of the day. Yeah, that's not a random tidbit. I mean, that's a significant reason why Jabori Antoine is there at Miami. I don't know NIL numbers there, but Chevis has been a pretty fast riser in the coaching circles. As a matter of fact, there was a lot of LSU fans when LSU brought Corey Raymond back this year who wanted LSU to go after Chevis Jackson. But he's been a fast riser, man. Les had him here as a GA back in 2015. I'm looking at it right here. Then he went to Ball State. That was with Mike New. If you remember, Mike New was the coach of the Voodoo, the New Orleans Voodoo. The Arena League team went to Ball State, so he went there. Then Les brought Chevis Jackson to Kansas, so he was there from 2019 to 2021. Then he went to Marshall, and now he's at Miami with Lance Guidry, who's obviously Lance Guidry's got a ton of ties to state. If you remember, Lance Guidry was the DC at Marshall, who was taking the job at Tulane, and then before he ever coached at Tulane, got hired by Miami. And that's how Andre Sam ended up at LSU, because Andre Sam was with Guidry at Nichols, then went to Marshall, and it transferred to Tulane following Guidry. When Guidry went to Miami, Sam came to LSU. Anyway, Rocky Killian, what's going on, man? Good morning. New picture there, Rocky, huh? I wish Crystal Poche was in Alexandria. I'm feeling it this morning. Hey, man, might be worth a short drive, a little day trip to Baton Rouge. But yeah, she's awesome. RestoredMotions.com, man. Bubba Smith, good morning. Aaron Fontaine, morning, Matt. And fellow Sconers, whatever happened with LSU and landed Victoria on a barb? I assume they pulled the offer after he got in trouble. Yeah, I don't even know necessarily that it's a pulling the offer thing. Like, I don't even know that he was going to be eligible, and there's a lot of different stuff that went on there. But yes, that was a non-starter. Excuse me, Barry Jocelyn, good morning. Just to burn Bama and the grammar lessons. Isn't it ironic? Oh, you're here just for Bama's burning of the grammar lessons. Gotcha, Rick. At the end of the show yesterday, we did get into a little bit of irony, the definition of irony, examples of irony. Bubba, good morning. Breakfast, British Open, morning Scone with the little lady this morning. There you go, Bubba. I haven't watched a single stroke of the British Open today, or the Open Championship, as they call it. DJ Trauma, maybe? Miami, LOL, good luck and good riddance. See, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. You're not going to get every recruit, and you should wish an 18-year-old good luck in life. Never forget, like, if you've got kids, or when you were 18 when you were graduating high school, deciding what you were going to do next. Imagine if an adult came up to you and was like, good riddance. Really, guy? Come on. Perspective matters. LA Chris, what's up? I think we had Antoine back. Seems like more of an emotional commitment, not a spite. I don't know, man. I mean, you had him committed, and then I guess like you got him committed when you hired Corey Raymond, and then maybe felt like he wasn't, a top priority, so decommitted. Maybe Miami's a good fit. Maybe they dumped a big NIL bag on him. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm sure of this, and you're right about this, Chris. They're going to keep recruiting him to the very end. Coach Nate Green, good morning. Hey, Chef, good morning. Jerry, good morning. Give me the Rummel 3-star. Who's the Rummel 3-star? Barry Jocelyn. I know the Rustin. If you're talking about Rustin, you're talking about Aiden Anding. So, I mean, that's who's next. Who they're recruiting is Aiden Anding, who is a 3-star from up in North Louisiana, but he's got offers from kind of everybody, and it looks like he's one of those late risers, which happens. I mean, some guys as sophomores and juniors go to elite camps and aren't necessarily, wowing people, and then they get toward their senior year and they blow up. And it looks like that's kind of what happened. That's what's happening with Aiden Anding, who I think is going to end up a 4-star and probably end up in the LSU class. He's probably the next cornerback. Sorry. I kind of did that with Barry. Tate, good morning, Matt. Haven't got the show live the last couple of weekends. Finally made it. Good to have you, Tate. Thanks for being here. Steven, big thing for me is the new defensive staff getting the players in the roster improve the on-field play. I'm with you, man. I mean, it was funny, man. We were at, all at media days. Everyone, I mean, you sit down and do, dozens of interviews with people, and a lot of times you get asked the same question, right? So a lot of it was about the defense. How much better can Blake Baker make them? And the point I made pretty consistently, and I think you probably agree, it's probably what you're talking about, is, I mean, I think Blake Baker is going to make them better. I think Corey Raymond will make them better. Bo Davis will make, the players you have, they'll play better because they'll be better coached. They'll simplify all that stuff. But if you're looking for like a dominant defense, you need to have NFL guys on your roster. Where are the NFL guys on this defensive roster? Harold Perkins is an NFL player, obviously. Like, who else can you say definitively today is going to be drafted and make an NFL roster? I mean, I don't think there's anybody in the secondary I would say that about. Maybe some of the young guys, like maybe, Deshaun McBride, Deshaun Spears, but we haven't seen him play at all. But you could be excited about some of the young guys. I think Whit Weeks is really good. I mean, you just got to get something unexpected from those defensive linemen. But the point is, but I think the point remains, right? Which is your point. I mean, you got to get the players. And they're working on that. Brian Claus, what's going on? Carl the Cat. Until the ink dries. Ryan, morning, Matt. I don't know if you saw the video LSU football put of Will Campbell squatting 616. I did. Not only did he squat 616, he did that effortlessly. I mean, there was no struggle whatsoever with that 616. He's a monster. Hey, Ryan, Amanda Guidry, good morning. Patrick McDade, I'll be in Vegas. No plans. Plan on showing up Saturday, walking around the strip, covered in purple and gold, sticking out like a southern sore thumb. Well, Patrick, might I recommend not spending a ton of time walking the strip because it'll probably be 120 degrees. So you may want to find a nice, cozy place inside to walk around. Let's see. Cody. Okay. Plans for Vegas. Golden Steer, Absinthe, fireworks on Fremont on Friday, and playground. Okay. Isn't the Golden Steer the legendary old school steakhouse? Like the Rat Pack used to go there and everything. Kelly Gross, good morning. Mark Vitanovich, Nola Gold Rugby Playoff Game 5:30. Okay. No, I'm not going, Mark. I won't be there. But good luck to the Nola Gold. I'm gonna go to church here in a little while, and then we have whole families getting together. So one of our great family traditions is my Grammy's crawfish bisque. So she would make the bisque and stuff the heads, right? And Grammy passed Easter made a year, and but before she died, she taught my mom and how to make the crawfish bisque. My mom doesn't eat it, which is funny. She makes it for us now, but doesn't eat it. And we always got it twice a year. So she did it for Father's Day and for my Gramps' birthday. So June and October is when we would always get crawfish bisque. Well, this year for Father's Day, I think we wanted to everyone was kind of a little spread out, and my sister lives in Kansas. So Alicia, my sister, is in town now, with her family for 2 weeks. And so we plan to do it now. So we're doing crawfish bisque today. So it'll be cool, man. We'll have the whole family together, the whole extended family, all the cousins, and it's, it's funny because we were 6 cousins growing up. But now all of us all have kids in our families. And so it's this, it's my cousin Mark's got 5 kids. Steven's got 2. Of course there's Andrew, my cousin Paul's son, Andrew, Brian's got 4, Alicia's got 4, and then we've got Drew. So we will have a full house, a really full house over at my parents' house today. So, but it'll be fun. So I will not. And quite honestly, Mark, even if I didn't have that, I probably wouldn't be at the Nola Gold game today. But I wish him luck. Coach Nate Green, we took a cornerback out of Florida, and Miami took one out of Louisiana. Yeah. To be very candid, Coach Nate Green, I'd rather pick it. I don't know I'm not the guy looking at the film, and I tell you all that all the time. But having had some conversations, Pickett is the real deal, dude. And I wonder if Jabari Antoine is kind of the guy where, of course you're going to recruit him because he's right there in New Iberia. But I hate to say it this way because I don't mean this to be, God, I don't ever want to be negative about high school guys. But I'm not even going to give a name. Sometimes you have to recruit guys in the state because they're in the state. Sometimes you have to take guys in this, even if you think there's better options. But you offer and you recruit and you take guys in the state because they're in the state. And I think Antoine might be one of those guys. It's not sour grapes because he didn't pick LSU. And to be very clear, I would love if they would flip him because clearly he's an athletic guy and he's from Westgate. And if he's not going to pick you, good. Go to Miami. Don't go to Alabama or Texas or Georgia or something like that. Anyway, Justin Rose, a stroke back at 43. Never say never. There you go. How about that, Justin Rose? Go get it, man. Mark, what's your take on the Pelicans Summer League? Haven't watched it at all, Mark. You asked me that yesterday too, man. I've not watched. I watched Team USA yesterday against South Sudan. Nearly lose. That was weird. F1 DGEIT. With this Arab transfer portal, we could get him in a year easily. That, you know what? That's one thing that's been a really good point that Shea Dixon's kind of hammered into my brain throughout this portal cycle is it's never meant more, or recruiting cycle. It's never meant more finishing second in recruiting than it does now. Because in a year, 2 years, if a player leaves the place they commit to, and you had a great relationship throughout the recruitment, you could get him in the portal. So, well, I don't know if that'll manifest. We'll see over time if that actually plays out, but it's a really good point. Damon Gilmore, Leon Williams, good morning. I see the Saints gave Rashid Shaheed an extension. Do you think this is to give him, I don't know what the rest of that is, but yeah, I like what they did with Shaheed. So remember, Rashid Shaheed was going to be an exclusive rights free agent because sorry, I'm trying to get he was an undrafted free agent, so he was going to be a restricted free agent. So they extended him for 1 year. So 1 year, $5.2 million. That keeps him through 2025. So that tacks another year onto his contract. So he's here not only for 24, but you don't get him into restricted free agency after the season. So you've added a year onto his contract. And if he goes and blows up this year again, then you can talk about giving him a long-term extension. I think that would be a great thing to do. But this is a good faith move by the New Orleans Saints. They see a young player, they like him a lot. They make sure he gets paid front end. They could have waited until after this season, but it's a reward and a good faith move that will probably help you negotiate on the back end. Hey, Brian, good morning. Another Brian, good morning. How many days till football season starts? That's a Stephen Miller question. I don't know if he's still watching, but Stephen does the countdown on Twitter. Hang on, let me see. Well, let's see. I could probably do mental math here. What are we, 35 days? Does that sound right? 35 days? Or are we at 42 days? Hang on. There it is. There's your Stephen Miller jersey countdown for the day. 42 days away. I knew I could count on you. I don't know if you still watch it. I knew I could count on you, dude. 42 days. 42 days. Right. Let's see. So 6 weeks from today, because they open on a Sunday, as you all know. Brian, new commit from Vegas, looks like a hoss. Yeah, man. 6'6", 205. Big, strong physical receiver. You look at him, man. Trey Green and Kamorian Pimpton, a couple of tall, long tight ends. You got some big-bodied targets now. Brett DeGrow, what's going on? Rocky, don't be a child. These kids can still be recruited even if they commit verbally. I decor more. Yeah, that's to the person earlier who was saying like good riddance. Yeah, I'm not trying to be rude but y'all just, if y'all have watched or listened y'all long enough, y'all know, man, I'm not ever going to be the guy that criticizes a high school kid for what he decides to do in college. I mean, make the best decision for you. Douglas, good morning. How can I get one of those pair of shirts? Also, update on Trey Holly. Well, Douglas, if you are, so we do have a pair of swag. And if anybody wants hat, shirt, like until we can put a party together or something, man, you're more than welcome to come by the office and we'll hook you up with a shirt, a hat. The office on Perkins Road, we are fingers crossed, knock on wood, knock on Formica. We are expecting to be in the new office in about 2 weeks. So very, very, very excited about that. But yeah, we just got some new hats and shirts in as well. So looking forward to being able to do a hat party soon. But yeah, if you can pop by the office, let me know, man. I'll make sure we hook you up. So, and the update on Trey Holly. So, man, I talked to Brian Kelly Monday at Media Days. And he said he was expecting this to be adjudicated this week. But then somebody sent me a link, apparently like the next day. Here it is. So like Monday, Brian Kelly told me that they expected the Holly situation to be adjudicated this week. A day later, Holly's attorney, Michael Small, this is from Tiger Egg, announced that the status hearing scheduled for July 17th had been postponed until September 18th. It's a setback for Holly, eagerly awaiting the opportunity to clear his name. Prosecutor and Small requested the change of date as the state was in the process of providing the discovery evidence to which Small said he was entitled. So, September 18th. That's a bummer, man. So, still not there. I mean, they were expecting this to be adjudicated next week, meaning he would be available for camp. And for the season, now you bump that back to September 18th. That's a significant setback. Michael Cook, good morning. Kevin Thomas, y'all smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook Please like, follow the page, share the post. Appreciate y'all. Tyler got tickets to the home opener against Nichols. First time ever at Tiger Stadium, which I expect. Can't wait. That's awesome, Tyler. So because it's the home opener, I think it'll be a vibe and it'll be a really good day. The game's probably not going to be competitive, so you're probably going to have people leave early. It's just kind of the nature of it. I would definitely recommend, man, getting there early and taking in some of the sites of tailgating. I would definitely plan to watch the band march down the hill. You can get the whole schedule of events. They'll post it, the day of the game or before the game. So you'll see exactly like what time the Tiger Walk is when the players come down the hill, when the band comes down the hill. I would highly recommend you do all that. And then definitely be in your seats for pregame, the pregame, the four corner salute and everything. So, they do that 15 minutes before the game starts. So just make sure you take in a lot of that stuff. Leon, good morning. What do you think the Saints? Why do you think the Saints extended Rashid Shaheed 1 year? Yeah, so talked about that a little bit. It buys you another year, and so again, it's a good faith move by the Saints because you could have waited and then just signed him to just tendered him on his RFA deal, and this actually gets him paid more in line of what he's worth. And then after this year, if he has another great year, then you could sign him to a long-term deal if you want to. It buys you another year to say of time to say, okay, what do we want to do long-term with him? But it also is a good faith measure that gets him paid requisite with what he's kind of deserved. So I think it's a great move. Let's see, Matt, who was Chevis Jackson's secondary coach when he was at LSU? Was that was it Ron Cooper? I think Ron Cooper. Load. I think it was Ron Cooper. I'm almost positive it was Ron Cooper. Let's see. Nope. Doug Mallory was the defensive backs coach in 07. Well, that was 07. Earlane on the D line. So Doug Mallory was 07. When did Ron Cooper get here? Ron Cooper coach at LSU. Okay, Ron Cooper got here at 9, 10, and 11. Because Ron Cooper's the one that recruited Patrick Peterson. So Doug Mallory was the DB coach then. Let's see. If Nuss Bus has a solid year, once come back, does he need to transfer to play with Bryce Underwood coming in? I've heard we pretty much have promised a starting spot to him, but I could be wrong. So I haven't heard from a soul that LSU has promised anyone a starting spot. So now, would he be able to start as a freshman? Probably. Would he want to? I'm certain. And I think fans are going to disagree on this. So, look, if Nuss has a blow-up season, goes pro, I mean, obviously. If Nuss has a really good season and wants to come back, you're setting yourself up for exactly what happened with Mettenberger, Burrow, and Jaden Daniels. Where, and again, I'm not saying he's going to have a Heisman season, but look at all three of those guys. They started at LSU as a fourth-year player, had good seasons, came back for their fifth year and had blow-up seasons. Like, I could see that happening with Nuss. The flip side is what's happening right now in Oklahoma. So they had They had Dylan Gabriel there, won 10 games with him at quarterback, but they had Jackson Arnold, the 5-star, sitting there. And so they effectively said, Dylan, you got to go because we're starting the kid. And so now Dylan Gabriel is the the preseason Heisman favorite at Oregon. And Oklahoma is going to be starting a sophomore quarterback and their projected win total is 7.5. So which way do you go? I'm always gonna lean. Give me the 5th year guy. That's that's him. And Bryce Underwood can wait a season, and then start as a sophomore and a junior. Hopefully, be awesome, win a Natty, a Heisman, and then go pro. That's what I would like to see happen. Or Nussmeier goes and has a monster year this year. LSU wins a Natty, he goes pro, and then next year Underwood's coming in trying to win the job as a freshman. Brian LeBlanc, going to Supper Club July 23rd for my birthday. Okay, what do you recommend I order? Very cool, Brian. You're going to enjoy it, man. Be sure to tell him Scone sent you in. Hey, tell me what you like. Like if you want fish, I would highly recommend the sea bass. I absolutely have been floored by the veal parm. I mean, it is so delicious and so flavorful. Like if you like veal parm, I'm telling you, man, they bring the veal chop on the bone to your plate, to your table, and then they actually have like the marinara and the cheese and everything, and they in a skillet, and they lay it over the veal chop table side. It's incredible. If you want a steak, you can't go wrong. It's really just what kind of meat do you prefer, and they have everything from a prime fillet to like the Omi beef that's from the 400-year-old farm in Japan that we've talked about, that they feed it to samurai and stuff, and it's like $250. But it's, do you want that experience? You can have it there, or you can get the prime fillet, which will be an amazing piece of meat. They got the Sagrera Farms cuts. I mean, if you want steak, you'll have awesome options no matter what your favorite thing is. But appetizers, you got to get the burn ends, the short ribs. It'll melt in your mouth. And then dessert, I love the butter cake. Everyone loves the butter cake. But the creme brulee is amazing as well. But the creme brulee is massive. Like it's probably too big for 2 people. Like if you get the creme brulee, prepare to take it home. Enjoy, man. It's gonna be a great time. David, good morning. SEC is going to be back to the old days when they used to all beat each other. I think that's kind of been the case, David. There is some cannibalization there, but when you have a 12-team playoff, that helps, right? You get more teams in. Look at that. It's like SEC baseball. Robert Cooley, good morning. Driving to NOLA for the Golds playoff game. All right, Robert, there you go. Brian Turner, make defense great again. Doug Mallory, but yes. Yeah, Mallory. Emmett Bean, Gaither, Maryland. Okay, man. Tony, do you feel that Stingley is underrated in the league because he is not as charismatic and loud as other top corners? No, I think it's because he was injured as a rookie and didn't play much. And then this past year really started to pop. Stingley was like, I think he was like Defensive Player of the Month in the AFC. He was just hurt his rookie year. He played 9 games as a rookie. So he missed 8 games. He missed half his rookie year. Then last year he played in 11. So he's just got to stay on the field. When he's been on the field, he's been really good. He was it was week 13. He had 2 picks and 4 pass breakups in the win over the Broncos AFC Defensive Player of the Week. So when he's been on the field, he's been really good. He's just got to stay healthy and stay on the field. Mark, okay. Mark, I wouldn't. If you're trying to extrapolate 25 points in a summer league game as something that's going to translate into the regular season, didn't Bronny have 20 in a game the other night? I mean, come on. Ron UC, good morning, Matt. What was your top takeaway from last week at SEC Media Days? The Texas fatigue is real already. And but that's top takeaway. That's what I would say. My top takeaway is the Texas fatigue is real already. Okay, DJ Trauma, got it. Also, Matt, I'm just being a donkey's butt. I just like starting the pot. I never say this stuff for real. Got it. You're all good, man. All good. Thank you. Brian, Tony, he has a lot of haters due to his pedigree. Actually, who am I kidding? I was the cat on SEC Now and the broadcast that was hushing the Wofford fans after we came back from down 6 and eliminated them. Those fans are very chatty, to put it nicely. Let's see. Melody, good morning. Tigers recruiting like crazy. Andy fans melting. Love it to see it. Did y'all see? I think it was Zach, wasn't it? It was Zach Nagy. Zach tweeted, here it is. So in the last 30 days, this is a great tweet. In the last 30 days, LSU signed Carius Kern, the number 1 interior offensive lineman, Jesse Harold, the number 8 edge, Zion Williams, the number 7 defensive lineman, Damian Shanklin, the number 11 edge, DJ Pickett, the number 1 cornerback, Derek Meadows, a 5-star wide receiver, Jace Thomas, a 4-star safety, and Brandon Brown, a 4-star defensive lineman. All 8 of those guys in the last 30 days. Pretty unreal stretch. I mean, you were sitting there at 10 commits a month ago. Now you're at 18. You've added the number 1 cornerback in the country, a 5-star wide receiver. You fortified your defensive line. You flipped a guy from Texas. I mean, it's been a month. Austin, Matt, you probably know Circa's not walking distance from the Strip. Should be an easy Uber ride. I can maybe head down there after putting the kids to bed. Cool, man. Well, yeah, I know. So we're going with we have some friends of ours who are making the trip with us, and so we got like a you can reserve a spot by the pool or whatever. Table, but a pool water. They have like these pool water beds. Like it's like a thing you could. That's your space. We float the pool with your anyway. So it's Vegas, but anyway. So we got one of those. So we'll be at Circa for the Saturday night games. Don't know what we're gonna do. Oh, we're doing dinner Friday. That's what we're doing. So I'll do my show. So we're gonna land in Vegas on Thursday evening. Friday, we're doing our full lineup of shows Friday. Friday evening, we're going to dinner. And then Saturday during the day, I don't have anything planned yet. Saturday evening, we're going to be at Circa. And then Sunday's obviously game day. So looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a good time out in Vegas. Armani, outside of NIL money, why would anybody pick Miami after the year they had last year with their coaching decisions and losing games? Well, the North Carolina game was absolutely inexcusable. Georgia Tech. Was it North Carolina? Georgia Tech, I think. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, look. Maybe it is NIL. Maybe he wants to go to Miami. Maybe, Mario Cristobal has a reputation as a great recruiter. So, all right, y'all. Smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel. Remember, Brock, Rock, and Wine, y'all. 1 week from yesterday, we're 6 days away from Brock, Rock, and Wine. Get your tickets at brortho.com. It's in Tiger Stadium, in the South Stadium Club. All the proceeds go to benefit the Brock Foundation. Live music, food from restaurants all over town. Wine. It's going to be a great night. Eric and I will be there. We hope to see a lot of y'all there. Of course, remember, Parish Construction and Roofing. As you can see, we're perished out today. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Y'all, very excited. Terrio and I talked about this on Friday on AFR. Parish has rolled out its maintenance program, our maintenance program. So if you go to parishbuilt.com, you'll see on the homepage the roofing maintenance program. So it's $25 a month, and you get twice a year comprehensive roof inspection with drone technology. We'll give you the photo documented report, sealant for any loose shingles or loose area, debris removal. You also get priority response if there is an emergency, 10% discount on all services. Well, obviously the parish hat, swag bag, all that sort of stuff as well. So, if you're interested in the roofing maintenance program, let us know. Again, just it's $25 a month, and it's so worth it. And another reason why that's worth it, think of it this way. Let's say you do have an issue with your roof and you have to file a claim with the insurance company. Well, you will have dated, documented proof of what and photo proof of what your roof looked like and where the damages were from our inspection. So if something happens within that period from the inspection to when you file a claim, you could say, this is what it looked like in June. This is what it looks like here in October. So clearly it was this storm dated that or whatever, which is where we had the issue. So in any event, it's very, very, very much worth it. Would highly recommend it. I mean, it's almost like the maintenance program I talk about with River City's 1 hour air all the time. It's so worth it. We get our twice a year, checkups. That's complimentary, which essentially pays for the service. And then obviously we at front of the line, if we need a technician out to the house, we get discounted services on everything we do. It's like completely worth it. It's $25 a month. So parishbuilt.com. Where are we? Comments. There we go. Jonathan Scone. I think the comp for Aiden Anding is Dante Jackson. Very athletic. He can make up for losing Antoine. Boy, Dante Jackson just had like elite track speed. But he was awesome, man. Dante Jackson came in, played early, and was awesome. Let's see. Love the show, Matt. Studying for my master's. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. DJ Trauma. I'll remember it from now on. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for watching. Mark, what will happen to smaller D1 football programs long term that don't have big money and medium school alumni like Southern Miss, ULM, and transfer portal if they have no money from wealthy alumni to compete? Yeah, I mean, they're ultimately what I think is going to happen, Mark, is they're going to go create their own division and compete separately, which is what should be happening right now. Mark, like I know you're a Southern Miss guy, and it's no disrespect to Southern Miss, but Southern Miss is not the same as Ole Miss and Mississippi State. And it sure isn't the same as LSU, Alabama, Auburn. Like it never will be. The resources will never be the same to be able to compete. So in my opinion, those schools in their conferences have always done a disservice to their players by trying to compete at the major Division I level, the Power 5 level, because you're not the same. And I know why they do it. They want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to be able to compete at that level to make the money associated with playing those games and being on TV and all that sort of stuff, have the prestige. And they want to be able to compete for a championship as well, which is why they sort of appease the group of five with an auto bid and the playoff, which in my opinion is fundamentally absurd, because even in years where you've had good G5 teams, you're playing a 12-game schedule that doesn't look anything like a 12-game schedule that the Power 5 plays. Like, give LSU Cincinnati schedule when they were in the American, and see, or when Tulane made it and played USC a few years ago. Like, give LSU that schedule, see how it plays out. Of course you're going to go undefeated. There's 30 teams that would go undefeated against that schedule. So, I mean, that's always been my point, is that I've always felt that the group of five should form its own league, play each other, have their own champion, but the money isn't there. But it all goes back to this, and it's not about competitive balance, it's about money. And so now they're all having to make really tough decisions, Mark, about can you continue to spend to keep up with the Power 5? And the answer is clearly no. And so I think we're headed toward this inevitability where if they just done it themselves and acknowledged it years ago, we'd been there. But it all goes back to what I've talked about forever, man. It's just the adults in the room have been greedy for decades, and the adults in the room are why we are where we are now. Hi. There. Oh, do you want to take? Let me see your backpack. Your backpack might be done. There. 10, 20, 20. No, maybe your backpack's not done. Let me see. Let me see that backpack. There. See that backpack? Yeah. There. Well, all right, almost done. Put your backpack. Videos? Yeah. Okay, come on. Daddy will show you videos. All right. Sorry, y'all. Please smash that like button if you would. We'll be back in a minute because the backpack's about to beep. Okay. Brian, good morning. How do Notre Dame fans feel about us getting Derek Meadows? I don't know. My brother's a Notre Dame grad, though. I'm going to see him today. I'll ask him. Let's see. Tommy Poole, Matt, is the 12-team playoff more of the same like the previous 14 playoffs, meaning mostly just top teams from SEC and Big Ten? Probably. But remember, you're also, Tommy, talking about leagues that now have 16 teams in them. So you have more teams, so you'll have more representation. And that's okay. I mean, I think we're headed to that inevitability anyway, Tommy, where you're effectively contracting. You know, I've always said I believe we're headed to where we're just going to have one college football. It's not going to be all these different conferences negotiating their own TV deal. You know, maybe it's like in the same way that the NFL is structured with an AFC, NFC, maybe that's what the SEC Big Ten are in their 32-team leagues or 16, whatever, 20-team leagues, whatever that number is. But we're headed to that inevitability anyway. And isn't that what you want to see? Like, do you really want to see a playoff that includes Western Michigan because they were the highest ranked G5? Come on. Let's see, Mark, do you think Spencer Rattler will beat out Jay Kaner for QB2? I don't know, man. Hainer certainly throughout all the offseason workouts seemed to have the upper hand on Rattler. Rattler's probably the better, physically gifted player, but I'm excited to see how that plays out in camp. Ryan, Notre Dame fans, Brian Kelly can't recruit, right? How about that? Hey, Trivia, good morning. I know ish about rugby. I know Nola Gold is apparently good this year and have been on a heater. That's good. I don't know anything about them either. Like, listen, man, my job is to talk about things that have mass appeal to my audience. And my audience, the core of my audience are men 25 to 54 in this state. And that's LSU Saints. Like that's kind of it. There's a lot of things that I care a lot about that the masses here may not. Tell you all I love MMA. I don't talk much MMA because it doesn't have the broad appeal. Like you'll never hear me talk about golf because I shouldn't say nobody, but golf here does not have broad appeal. I'll talk about an LSU golfer when they win because that has appeal, but talking about the Open Championship is pointless. It's pointless. Here. Michael Castello, hope y'all have a good weekend. Thank you, Michael. Same to you, man. Tony J, I think there's talent on D. I think coaching will bring that out of them. Last year was a disaster from message not landing with players. Let's see what the coaches can do. Tony, last year was a disaster, not only message not landing with players, but like your secondary was awful, man. You couldn't cover in man. You took awful angles because you weren't fast and athletic. Your defensive line wasn't very formidable. Like, it was a lot more than just the message not landing. That was part of it, for sure. That was part of it. But and you had Mason Smith and Mekhi Wingo and Jordan Jefferson on that defensive front. And look at how it went. You don't even have those guys this year. Strong side, good morning. Hope you're doing well. We know the questions on defense. In your opinion, what are the biggest question marks on offense? Nussmeier, running back. Nobody wants to think of Nussmeier as a question mark, but he is. He's never started before. He's been around a long time, but he hasn't started. So, that is a valid question. What's it look like if when he starts for 12 games? And then running back. Jaden's gone, and then Logan Diggs was your leading rusher. So Josh Williams has been a really steadying guy for you for a long time. But do you have the guy that could be 1,000-yard rusher if he gets 200 carries? Like, I think that's Caleb Jackson, but we have to see. So again, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but you're asking what are the questions? Those are the questions. Tony, let's be a top 60 D this year. There you go, and get players now for the future top Ds. I'm with you. Hey Roman, good morning. Who will back up Nussmeier? Well, it's going to be between. Well, it's AJ Swan, the Vandy transfer, Ricky Collins, the redshirt freshman, and Colin Hurley, the true freshman of the 3 scholarship quarterbacks you have. First into the game, I'd probably think would be Swan, just because of the experience factor that he has. I think Ricky Collins probably has more upside. That'll be another interesting one to watch in camp. If we're a top 50 defense, we got to say it's a massive turnaround, right? Yes, absolutely. To go from 108 to 50? Yes. 108 to 58. You're up 50 spots. Yes. Okay. Hey, do you want to say hi to Dad Show? Yep. Yes. Can you say hi to Dad Show first? And then videos? Yeah. Oh, my boy. Hi. Oh, my boy. It's my little boy. It's my 10-year-old boy. What do you say? Hi, Dad. Oh, hey, where are you going to go today? Momo's house. Oh, yeah? Who are you going to see at Momo's house? Steven last name. You're going to see Steven? Are you excited to see Steven today? Yeah. Yeah. Steven last name. What is Steven's name? Steven Mumford. Steven Robert Mumford. Okay, I know you're ready to go. Okay. Thank you for saying hi. All right. His little butt says bear bum. Now videos. Go get it. Go get your videos. Okay, we'll see you. It's true. All right, over 200 watching right now concurrently. That's awesome, y'all. Thanks for being here with us. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. We appreciate y'all. Dr. Michael Brummon. Okay. David, Matt, can high school recruits once committed to a school shut down their recruiting and no contact like portal transfers? No, you can't. You can request that coaches not contact you, but it's not like that with portal. Let's see. I believe it is a playoff game. Oh, so y'all are talking about rugby. I'm just going to let y'all have that convo. Cajun Country, good morning. Love the Morning Scone family. Always a good time. Thanks for being there, man. Great seeing you a couple weeks ago as well over in Lafayette. Todd Walker won Morris throw the first pitch at a Rougarou game. That's cool. Ronnie Rance digging into his old bag of tricks, digging into his contact list. Okay. Devin, I get the hype on Underwood. What about Colin Hurley? The other kid. Well, the other kid is Ricky Collins, who we just talked about. Colin Hurley, look, Colin Hurley can spin it, man. The thing about Colin that's interesting to me is just I don't know why, like, legitimately don't know why a player would reclassify. Like, why would you want to go to college a year early when you could take another year to physically develop? I mean, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage going to college at 17 instead of 18. Now, if you test out of all your classes, right, and you're talking about just from an academic side, fine. But just from a physical standpoint, I mean, it's why parents hold their kids back for sports. If you're, at 14 or 12 years old, if you're 9 months older than another kid, think about the rapid rate of growth and development you have physically, cognitively, emotionally, everything during that time. Like 9, 10, 11 months is a massive difference. So that's the one thing about Hurley. I wish him well, man. I mean, he's super impressive. I've loved every interaction I've had with Colin, talking to him. Just such an impressive young guy. And I mean, physically, he's got the arm talent. He belongs, why not wait another year? Anyway, let's see. Selvi said Vegas the -5 ice bar, zipline the strip. That could be a good idea. LSU, USC, Chicago Sky, Las Vegas Aces. Okay, go watch Little Angel Reese, the Bayou Barbie. Let's see. I've watched more. Okay, that's still rugby. Okay, I'm passing on the rugby stuff. No disrespect, y'all. Let's see. Jason H. Morning, Uncle Scone. New kicks. Someone give this man an NIL deal for socks. Drew got a pair. Ryan and Jonna Terrio, the Terrios, gave Drew a pair of Jordan 4s that, of course, they got at Ruckus for his birthday. So he got a little pair of Jordan 4s. They're awesome. He wore them last night. We had Erica's uncle. We had his 80th birthday party last night, and Drew had a Paris green shirt on and his Jordans, his green Jordans. Let's see. Carl, will they bring back Taste of Tiger tailgating? No. You guarantee put on that event for 20 years, whatever it was, and I'll tell you, Carl, it was a massive, massive, massive undertaking, and it is not something we're interested in bringing back. DA, what did you think of Lane and Paul? To embarrass him like that was wild. Paul always talks big behind the camera until he's confronted. The Bama fan club show. Let Lane do that to you, Jake Jordy. I didn't see what I don't know what he said. I saw something on Twitter where, like, you're talking about Feinbaum. Lane clapped at Feinbaum, or I don't know, called him on a prediction. I didn't see it. I don't know, man. I think if you are an opinion maker, you are going to be right and you are going to be wrong. That's just the nature of the business. Like, if you make your living giving opinions, sometimes you're going to be right, sometimes you're going to be wrong. I mean, that's what it is. So you own it both ways. So I don't know what Lane Kiffin said, and I don't really care, but whatever. Ron, what's up, Ron? You're correct about Golden Steer. I said at the Frank Sinatra booth last time I was there. There you go. Brandon Ray, good morning. Mark, Sunbelt Media Days. One good thing about Sunbelt Media Days, you can get everybody, every coach, every player, everything. Like, they very much welcome everybody that goes to that. JMJ, Matt, does the lack of production at Gorman for Meadows create cause for concern? Not really. You know what I think of with that, JMJ, is Jarvis Landry. Jarvis, when he was at Lutcher, they didn't throw the ball. Go look at Jarvis's high school stats, non-existent. But he went to camps and I was like, oh my God. I mean, he was a 5-star. Everybody knew the ability was there. He was just playing in an offensive system that wasn't conducive to throwing the ball. Let's see, Matt. PB told a story on radio this morning about how he spilled his Arnold Palmer on Saban's notes at media days and didn't apologize. He didn't tell me that. It's funny. Let's see. John Emery has earned the right to be RB1. No, I don't think so. Not only that, Mark, he's also coming off a torn ACL. I think Emery has his role, and he's probably going to be a, 5 to 7 touch per game guy. But I think Caleb Jackson, Josh Williams will be your top 2 guys, and Emery will be a nice change of pace. Let's see. Malachi Dupree. Yep. Yeah, Dupree's another one. Rick Kelly, Matt, did you talk to Lane Kiffin? I did not. Wondering how he's handling the situation with his dad passing. In an interview I saw with him, he said last year's media day wasn't going to be the same without Coach Leach's passing. So just to be very clear, Lane doesn't even come to Radio Row. My friends at Super Talk Mississippi, Richard Cross, Brian Haydad, who do a really good job, like they're statewide in Mississippi. Lane agreed to only do an interview with Richard, but not on Radio Row. So like Richard had to go to a holding room somewhere and sit down like with a handheld mic for like 5 minutes and talk to Lane. That's all they got. So Lane is one of those that's actually not very, despite the personality and the fun that he has on Twitter, he's not one of those guys that goes to media days and just laps that thing up. Some do. He's not one of them. So no, I did not get a chance to talk to him. Hey, Dad, good morning. Tate, might be TMI. Had my vasectomy Thursday. NCAA 25 was out Friday. Open championship all weekend. Wife cut the grass. Life is good. She owes you, man. She owes you. Mark, do you think when the Saints do training camp in cool temps like Greenbrier, Wisconsin, California, it weakens them as men? I don't know, Mark, but what I will say, I can't. I don't know. I mean, I know the years they were at the Greenbrier were the 7 and 9 seasons. I don't know that it was a direct correlation to being at the Greenbrier or just the fact that they weren't very good. But a lot of those guys who were in that first camp in Jackson, Mississippi with Sean Payton talk about, and the other thing too, Mark, is remember during those days, you could do 2-a-days. You can't do 2-a-days anymore because of the collective bargaining agreement. So a lot of that changes. But I mean, there's a lot of teams that have training camp in more milder climates. I don't know, man. I think just make the most out of what you do. Brian Claus, LSU gets a wide receiver who is a Notre Dame lean, the number one player in Indiana. Tough time for Notre Dame fans who say Brian Kelly can't recruit. Let's see, JMJ. Does the roof have to be installed by Paris to purchase the maintenance program? No, not at all. No, literally anybody, any roof, we could do the maintenance program. It's $25 a month. So, and again, like the most important part of that, yes, like, having the sealant and debris removal, all that stuff will, in theory, extend the life of your roof. And if there is a big storm, could limit water intrusion and damage and things like that. Could. Now, Fortified roof is the best way to do that. And of course, the state of Louisiana has that Fortified roof grant program where you can get a $10,000 grant to fortify your roof, and we can help you with that as well if you're interested. But man, for $25 a month, as part of the maintenance program, I mean, for nothing else, just to have the drone technology inspections twice a year with photos and everything for insurance purposes, for the inevitability of when you need to replace your roof, it's worth it. James McKinney, Chris Dupree, Bill, what are the chances we get him back? Do we want him back? I guess you're talking about Jabari Antoine. They're going to keep recruiting him for sure. But I don't know well enough to know if they'll get him back at the full, but they'll keep recruiting him. Yeah. Oh, there's all the Drew comments. Papa John, let's see. Papa John. I love it. Like Papa John. Morning, Matt. Longtime follower, first time chatter. Love your shows. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate you very much. Breeze, Matt, you going to play the new college football game? I'm not. I don't have a video game console, man. I haven't had a video game console since Super Nintendo, like 1991, man. So no. Rick, good morning. Great recruiting month. Hope Corey Raymond gets more quality depth in the secondary. Yeah, Aiden Anding from Ruston will be the next one to watch. Cincinnati. That was a good one, man. Hey, Danny, good morning. Do you think when we go to one college football, do you think other sports go back to more traditional conferences? I hope so, Danny. And ultimately, what Danny's talking about is when that happens, I believe the way it happens is college football just breaks away and operates independent of the NCAA and just operates as its own entity. And you say, well, how will they do that? Well, college football already outsources its postseason. Remember, the NCAA does not govern college football's postseason. The conferences collectively came together and awarded the rights to the postseason to the college football playoff. So the college football playoff, and prior to that, the BCS, organize the college football national championship. Like I say, this is the example I give people all the time. Like when you win the College World Series or the NCAA tournament, they have like the tall brown trophy, the national championship trophy. There isn't one of those for football because the NCAA doesn't crown the Division I football national champion. The college football playoff does. That's why they have the big, golden ice cream cone. So if they already do it for the postseason, why couldn't they do it for the entire season? 13 likes. Is that all we got? We only got 13 likes on this thing. Yo, YouTube, please smash that like button. We can't just have 13 likes. Might need to refresh that and see where it's at now. Let's see. How many likes?
Restaurant store. 30 chairs.
Oh, look at that. All right, 88 likes. There we go. All right. Thank y'all very much. Please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Bill, Matt, change it to 57, not 54. 57, not 54. Ooh, that was, I don't know what we're talking about, 57 to 54. Oh man, I'm only at the bisque comments. Sorry. Hey Matt. Yeah, man. Crawfish bisque. Tom Granted, good morning. Would love to come up to Natchez, man. We'll have to do that. Mark, can Derek Carr navigate a 10-win season? I don't believe so. I hope they can. Pierce, can you comment on why Jacoby Matthews hasn't landed anywhere? I actually did have a long conversation at Media Days about Jacoby Matthews. And apparently there's some feeling like maybe his departure look, Mike Elko came in and changed a lot of things like any new coach has a right to do. And I think maybe Jacoby didn't jive with a lot of those things. And so it was very late in the process. But yeah, man, I was talking to Billy Lucci about this as well. Because I asked him, like, hey, what's Jacoby doing? He said, I don't think he's doing anything right now. Like, not taking visits or like he's not enrolled anywhere, not in a camp anywhere. Like, so I don't know what's going to happen there. Kenny, any opinion on Josh Pate comments that there is internal dysfunction in the LSU program between coaching staff and LSU administration? I didn't see Josh Pate's comments. Could you please? I'd rather not comment until I know what he said. But if you send me his comments, I don't. On its surface, I haven't heard anything like that. But talked about his recent video ranking programs for the next 3 years. Okay. Send me a link. I'll watch it. But I mean, I would have to know more. I would need a little more definition about what he's talking about. Louisiana Focus, good morning. Thank you for being there. Matt, can you expound on the business side of your job? Getting my master's in business, it intrigues me. I'd like to be a GM one day, not like Loomis, lifetime goal. GM who gets the Pels to the finals. Sure. What do you mean that the business side of my job, like specifically? I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot that entails. I mean, from the radio side of it, obviously we have tons of different contracts from advertisers and how we package sales opportunities together, making sure we have content across many different platforms, not just radio anymore. I think as everyone's seen, there's all of this stuff that I do on the side, Morning Scone, Locked On, all of the videos and content I produce, Parish. So, I mean, there's a lot to it. You probably have to just maybe ask a little bit more of a specific question. Let's see. Lane Tool Paulie's pretty much wrong about everything, and I don't really know what you're good at. Oh, God. Oh, man. Yeah, there goes someone. I think I just talked about Jacoby. Yeah, no, my understanding he's not anywhere, and he can't go to an SEC school under scholarship, obviously, because the SEC rule prohibits that in the spring portal cycle. Like he would have had to go in the first portal cycle. Cole South. So we know you're not a fan of going to Nevada for 3-star wide receivers. I assume you're a fan of going to Nevada for a 5-star wide receiver. Actually, Gulf South, if you go to the beginning of today's show, I mentioned that specifically. That's something I've always said, which is I'm always okay. You want to go to Michigan and recruit the number 1 quarterback in the country? Cool. You want to go to California and recruit Eli Ricks? Yes. You want to go to South Florida, recruit Patrick Peterson? Yes. Flying over states to recruit a 3-star cornerback? Not so much. Let's see, showing 80. What are y'all showing 82 when I look? I'm curious what y'all are talking about. All right. Bradley, good morning. Pierce, would it be fair to say Jacoby went the right route of Dwight McGlothern when Coach Kelly came in? I think every time there's a new coach, you're going to have guys that transfer. I don't know that Jacoby's intent was to transfer. I think it might have been a circumstance that unfolded and was, I don't want to say forced upon him, but made inevitable. Joey B, expectations for LSU baseball. Omaha, always. Any reason for not having a 10 a.m. show on 104.5? Yes. So, as an ESPN affiliate, so we air Hester and T-Bob from 7 to 10. We have 1 hour of Greeny from 10 to 11. Then live at lunch, 11 to 1, then Hunt, then me. So as part of as an ESPN affiliate, Gulf South, we are required to carry so many hours of ESPN programming, national programming during prime hours, which is 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. So we carry the first 2 hours of unsportsmanlike, 5 to 7. We have the 1 hour of Greeny. That's only 3. And we've had to get permission from ESPN to cut back that dramatically because we should be airing more. But we're a really good affiliate. We have a very successful station. Jeff Martindale is the head of ESPN affiliate relations for ESPN Radio. I've got a really good relationship with Jeff. Gordy actually sat on the ESPN affiliate board for several years. So I don't want to say they let us do whatever we want, but they're very willing to work with us because we've been such a good affiliate. So the 1 hour of Greeny, to be very, very honest, what we should do is Hester and T-Bob should be on from 6 until 9 p.m. a.m., 6 until 9 a.m. And then we should air Greeny from 9 to 11. And then go on from there. Hester and T-Bob don't want to start at 6. And I don't blame them. But for the sake of the lineup, that's what we should do, is start them at 6 and run them 3 hours from 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. But for life purposes, they don't want to do that. That decision was made before I was the program director and making those decisions. I'm not going to upset the apple cart now with our lineup. And I do always think about ways that I could tweak when I have options or opportunities or a better option that's better for our audience. So, but that's why Greeny is on. And the odd thing too, and you may not know this, so Greeny starts at 9 Central. And so we air at 10 a.m. his first hour. So actually, if you were listening or watching Greeny live at 10 a.m., you would be hearing his second hour, but on ESPN Baton Rouge, you're hearing his first hour. So we record his first hour from 9 to 10 a.m., and then we play it from 10 to 11. So does that make sense? I think I explained that okay. Yeah. So that's why. Joseph, off topic. Good whiskey for approximately $100. Joseph, did you text me? I saw that text last night. It was late. I was like, I'm not going to reply this late. Yep, you did text me. I saw it late last night, and I just wasn't going to reply to you on text that late because I saw that on my text line. So here's the thing. Joseph, it's very hard to find something on the shelf for $100 that's worth spending $100. Everything, and as you said in the text, it sounds like he's a guy that has a lot. I would say if you could send me a picture of his bar and what he has, I could give you a much better answer. If you're dead set on spending $100, Whistle Pig rye, the 10-year rye is probably in the $85 range. The Angel's Envy rye finish in the rum casks is another one that's in that $80, $90 range, which is really good. Again, those are both ryes, but they're very good, and I think worth $1 spend. I might recommend trying to find a barrel pick, like if you can find I'm not a big fan of Jefferson's Ocean. It's a good whiskey. I think it's overpriced, but Jefferson's Ocean Wheated. If you could write that down, Jefferson's Ocean Wheated, Wheated. That's awesome. I would spend $100 for that every day of the week, especially if you can find a barrel pick, a store pick of it. So you'll notice if a store has a whiskey, buys a barrel, they pick their own barrel instead of being batched. They pick their own barrel and they get every bottle from that barrel. Those are really cool one-offs as well. So you'll always see they'll have a sticker Weller. So Supper Club got a barrel of Weller 107. So you'll notice it'll have the sticker there that says Supper Club, right? Single barrel. So that I would recommend that. You could always look for a cool barrel pick, a store pick of a good whiskey as well, because those are really cool one-offs, because when that barrel is gone, it's gone forever and you can never get another one. So if you get a good whiskey barrel pick, sometimes those are good. Like Four Roses, Elijah Craig barrel picks are always good. Wellers, if you can find them. So hope that helps. Let's see. Gulf South makes sense. 100.3 NOLA cuts OTB at 9, airs olive greeny. There you go. Yep. Any reason why Hanny and Knott aren't on YouTube? They are not pre-recorded. Hanny and Knott are live. They are not pre-recorded. They're not on YouTube because, very candidly, and I would say this to their faces if they were sitting right here, they're old and don't want to deal with video. And I will tell you, one of my real charges, one of the things that is in the top 5 things that I'm working on pushing through. There's one enormous project we're working on that I'm very excited. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks, I'll be able to tell you all about. And I think it's going to change. I don't mean this in any way to be hyperbolic. I think it's going to change the landscape of how Louisiana consumes sports media whenever we launch it. And that's going to be in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully I can give you all an announcement on that. But after that, there's a few things I'm working on. And one of the biggest is, how do I find a really easy way to get Hanny and Knott on video every day? And the challenge is, we have the equipment, all that's fine, but I can't assign a tech to them ever. I can't pay someone to go tech just to set up their video every day. And so I need to find a way that we can make that happen. Look, I mean, Pierce is laughing. He said, because they're old. That's really it. They don't want to fool with doing the video, setting it up, teching it, figuring it out. It's and there's this StreamYard, which we use here, is so easy. It's such an easy thing to do. But they don't want to do it. So I got to find a way to make it happen. So I'm always looking at that. Joseph, also last night I had my first Weller Bland's Elijah Craig single barrel. There you go. Those are 3 good ones, man. Those are really good ones. All right, I think we're done, and I got to go to church. So y'all have an awesome, awesome day, and smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Brock. Remember, y'all, we're 6 days away. Saturday, Brock Rock and Wine. Hope to see y'all there in Tiger Stadium. Get your tickets at brortho.com. Parrish Construction and Roofing. Parrish, pinned in the chat. We'd love to give you that free, no obligation roofing inspection. Parrishbuilt.com. And Unique Physique. UniquePhysique.com. Semaglutide, tirzepatide, the once-a-week injections for weight loss. Learn more. Remember, they have telemed options, so if you don't want to go physically into the clinic, you can do everything by phone. UniquePhysique.com. And, of course, my girl Crystal Poche over at Restored Motions and RestoredMotions.com. Y'all have a great, great Sunday. We'll see you. Peace.